Okay, this is just a second video to update on a couple of things that we're dealing with around town. Obviously, the spring runoff, the melt that's happening right now. If you're noticing the river, there's a lot of water in the river. The optics of it are a little bit worse than it actually is because it's flowing over top of the ice. I was out there this morning, so it's not something we're terribly concerned about right now, but it's something that we are watching, of course, as everybody's aware of what this river can do. So we're on it. Ice melting in backyards, the back alleys, the front streets. The storm drains are plugged with ice. They're frozen with ice. We've got guys out trying to unthaw them, everything else. Water's running into the backyards, off the alley, just from snow melt in your backyard. Lindsay and I were pumping our backyard out on Sunday and pumping the basement out a little bit, which, as Lindsay said, it's not what I ever wanted to see again, but it's also something that we've dealt with every year just because our backyard's really designed bad. But this is normal when we have this much snow in town, and we get temperatures that go from -15 to +15 over the span of 24 hours, and it all melts at the same time. We've dealt with it before. This is not the first time, and it won't be the last. So a couple of issues that are happening, though, is out on the far west end of town, Riverside Boulevard, there's water that's pooled up back there, and it's up against the new berm. The new berm is working, but we don't want it to work during a situation like this. That's for emergency and for when the river overflows its banks, not for just runoff. So Tervita, I was out there this morning. Tervita's got one pump in there. They were sitting there waiting for the next two pumps to be out there. So they're on it to get that area pumped out. I kind of like seeing what it's doing right now because it's obvious to us that we need a way of draining that in the spring, not just having it do what it does, but now that that's all built up, we need a way of draining that water. So I talked to the guys this morning, and they're looking at it. They know what the issues are. They're not stupid. So Sunday, I've got to thank the town of High River operations staff and the High River Fire Department. They were out in full force on Sunday from 7 o'clock in the morning all the way. I still saw them out running around at 10 o'clock at night till it got too dark and it started to freeze back up. So, but they were over pumping the emergency end of things where areas were draining straight into people's backyards, and they were pumping them out and busting out the storm drains and everything else, and everybody was flying that day. And I know it was frustrating for people that it wasn't happening fast enough, but when it melts this fast and it all happened that fast, it's just the way it is, that we do as much as we possibly can, and all the crews were in play, and we worked through it. We're all in this together, and it's just something that we work through. Another thing that we've got fired up, yesterday we got talking about sandbagging because of people's backyards and everything else. This is not river runoff sandbagging program. This is just people need some sandbags in their backyards and stuff. So I was out going around. Town crews were loading up the sandbagging stations when I went by at 7 o'clock this morning. There'll be more information as to where they are. We'll blast that out on Facebook and on the website and everything. I want to touch on one other big item that we're starting to work on. We've been discussing it over the last few months just briefly because with everything else that's going on, but that is the upcoming budget talks. Got to be very aware as to the state that High River's in after the following year. We don't have any money to be blowing around and doing a lot with. So it's going to be an extremely tough year on the budget. We all have to be in this together. There's not going to be any freebies for anybody. We can't do that. If we try to pull the hero card as counselors and myself in administration that, yay, no tax hikes or anything else, and doing those kinds of things, that's heroism, and we can't do that because it's not responsible. If we forgave and didn't do any increase one year, it's got to be made up at some point in time. So We don't know what this all looks like right now, but I wanted to get it out there that when we do things like a siren warning system, which is new, upgrades at the fire hall to be able to power an emergency operations center, that's $100,000. The siren system could be anywhere from $200,000 to $400,000 to $500,000. We don't know yet. 500 seems ridiculous to me, but we're doing all these things, and we've got a new system, Everbridge, that's in play, and that's the online system that you'll be able to sign up for at the end of March, which when the siren system goes off, the Everbridge system kicks in and it'll phone you and email you, Facebook, Twitter. It automatically sends all this stuff out. We want the best system in town, but it costs money. So when we're talking those numbers, we all want it, but it costs money, and it has to be a budgeted item. We're committed to doing this, but High River, we all have to commit to getting this done right. It's not just telling town council, no, just do it, and I don't want a tax hike. That does not work. That's not the responsible way to do this. That's heroism, and it's not the right way to do it. So we don't know what it's like. I don't want to freak people out or anything, but I just wanted to touch on it because it's going to be an extremely sensitive thing. I don't know what it looks like yet, but we're going through it, and we're all in this together as a community, and I don't think we're going to get a lot of pushback on it because I think we're doing the right things that people want to see around town, and there's a lot of areas in our budget that just need to be tightened up. Flood or no flood, there's just areas that need to be fixed, and we're well aware of what that is. We've got an excellent CAO with James Thackeray and an excellent CFO with Tom Meyer that are very aware as to how to run municipalities, and council is very, very committed to this budget and fixing a few things up. But I just wanted to start the talks and get things, get people to be aware of where the position this town is in, and we all have to be committed to getting this town back on its feet, and this is just another part of it. So thank you very much. Again, if you got any questions on this stuff, please email me or any other counselor. We're very available to this community, and we want to hear from everybody. So all this information is available on the website, our contact information I'm talking about, email addresses, cell phone numbers, etc. So highriver.ca is where you can get everything. Thank you very much.